Hello and welcome back. We hear a lot these days about balance. Work-life balance, a balanced team, a balance between preserving health and preserving the economy. It's one of those words we can use so often that we forget what, in practice, we mean by it. So let's revisit this oft-quoted word to see what it told us that we've forgotten, what we've so internalised we've taken for granted, and what other wonders it can unlock for us. Start with this. Think about a time recently when you used the word balance. Think about the context. Who was there? What were you discussing? Now ask yourself this. What kind of balance is that balance? At first, hearing this may sound like a slightly odd way of phrasing the question, but experts in the field of what's known as clean language recommend it as a formulation. So for the sake of argument, let's run with it and see where it takes us. I'll run it past you again. What kind of balance is that balance? When I hear a question like this, I must confess my thoughts go back to the classic line from a certain secondary school teacher who used to ask, "And what kind of idiot do you take me for?" I always wanted to ask in reply, "Please sir, what kind of idiots are there?" Not a good idea to ask it then, but a similar idea could be helpful now. What kind of balance is there? Well, let's think of some. There's the balance of the ballerina who finishes a move in a position of complete stillness, perfectly balanced and seemingly impervious to any force of gravity that would cause her to topple over. It's a state of balance of complete control. Is that the kind of balance you're looking for? Then there's the natural balance you get when walking. Balance is achieved not by standing still but by moving. If you stopped moving partway through a stride, you'd find it difficult not to topple over, so balance depends on movement. In your world, in what direction and how fast do you need to keep moving to give you the kind of balance you're looking for? On a similar vein, we could think about the balance of the juggler. To stay in balance, the juggler, him or herself, needs to be in a position of strength, solidity and focus, and this provides the basis for keeping a number of objects in the air simultaneously. Here, balance is achieved by a combination of movement and solidity. Is that the kind of balance that's your balance? To what extent are you in control of what's in the air, and to what extent do you feel trapped by the need to keep those objects moving, regardless of how useful, profitable or practical that exercise has become? And then there's the balance of the footballer dribbling the ball around opposition defenders, keeping the ball under control as he or she runs at pace, also shrugging off the effort of defenders who've given up trying to take the ball away and are just trying to nudge the player off the ball. Who or what is trying to knock you off course? How are you doing, both keeping your eye on the ball and looking out for the way the defence is trying to trip you up? Your life hack this week is to look out for, or even engineer, a conversation where you speak to a colleague, manager, subordinate or partner in which you get them to talk about balance. And when they do, you get to ask the question, and what kind of balance is that balance? And don't worry too much if initially you're met with a slightly bemused look, since you've already had the chance yourself to think about the kinds of balance that exist and which of those is most relevant for you to explore. Until next time.